In May of last year, we set off on the biggest road trip of our lives. We're going to drive our camper van Vinny down the Pan American Highway from Alaska all the way down to Argentina. And so far, this trip has been incredible. But at times, this adventure has also been a huge test of our patience and determination, as we've been battling mechanical issues with our van
I'm sick of this.
and many other obstacles along the way. We've been facing an especially impressive number of setbacks recently, as an endless amount of things started breaking in our van.
Like right now, I just want to go home.
Me too. But in spite of all of those things, and sometimes even in spite of our better judgment, we are hellbent on driving our van across all of the Americas. Now that most of Vinny's issues have been fixed, it is with great pleasure that I announce to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are officially back on the road, driving south to the end of the world in Argentina. Woohoo! Woo!
Good morning. Welcome to the coast of California. Look at this beautiful park-up spot that we're at.
We're just south of San Francisco and we want to get all the way down to LA by the end of this video, so over the course of the next 2 or 3 days. And we're gonna take the super scenic Highway 1. So we're really excited because that's supposed to be one of the most beautiful road trips in the world.
Alright, Vinny, we need to have a talk. After your recent problems with all the breakdowns, some people have been doubting that you can even make it to Argentina.
So we're gonna need you to power through and to be braver than you've ever been before and to not break down again.
It's
I
confirmation.
think that's a yes.
Confirmation.
Yeah, I think that's a yes, okay. So if everything goes according to plan, these actually are going to be our last days in the US because our US visa runs out and we have to make it down to Mexico. So the plan for now is to just enjoy the beautiful coastline, prepare ourselves and our van to go to Mexico and address some questions and concerns that you guys have shared with us about, let's say, the rest of the journey down to Argentina. Whoa, guys, look at this! This is the Bixby Bridge! This is Big Sur! Times like this, I'm just so glad, so glad that Vinny is all better and that he gets to see these beautiful places. Otherwise, we would have had to, like, I don't know, order more parts, buy a new van, I'm not sure. Wow.
These are some of the best views you've ever had. I love this. I love sharing this with you. Normally we would continue further south through the one, all the way south to LA, but unfortunately there have been some landslides recently that destroyed part of the one, so we'll have to turn back a little bit and go around and then continue our way further south on the one.
Small detour, small detour. It's lunchtime and we're getting kind of hungry, so I'm just heating up some of Naik's chili sin carne, chili without the meat, leftover chili that he made yesterday. That was absolutely delicious. A little bit of rice. Yes, we are using paper plates to save on dishes. That's what we do on travel days. Here you go, sir. Warmed it up myself.
Thank you. And with these views, doesn't get better than this. It's
Always.
even better than yesterday.
Yeah, it always is.
I was getting tired after many hours driving already today. So Kim got me a pillow, got me some nuts, a little bit of chocolate.
Now Captain Kim is driving the van. Hold on!
Please God, send help. And we made it to our campsite just in time for sunset.
There are hardly any spots on the Highway 1 where you can like wild camp or anything, so we booked a campsite for tonight, which we only ever do if we need to, but I think this one's gonna be pretty nice. So this spot here is called Morro Bay. There's this cute little marina here. This sunset, it's just beautiful, like a fiery orange and a little bit of pink on the sides. It's incredible. Wow.
I'm just quickly gonna hook up our heater to this diesel tank here, just so we can be nice and toasty. goes in here. So now heater should work.
You want to know what I just realized? Something really, really cool. So when we started this road trip, you'll remember that we actually shipped our van to... Hard to look at a map this way. You'll remember that we actually shipped our van to the east coast of Canada, here to Halifax. And then we road tripped all across Canada. This black line here, to get up to Alaska. Alaska is not where the trip began. And even before we got to the border with Alaska, we already drove over 10,000 kilometers. So basically, my goodness, these maps really weren't made to be very video friendly. If you don't just count the part that we drove south from Alaska, but count everything, the entire trip across Canada, and all of this down the coast of the US, the entire bit that we did, like Utah, Arizona, we've driven 30,000 kilometers so far, a little bit over 30,000 kilometers, and it's another 30,000 until we get to the bottom of the world in Ushuaia in Argentina. But so we're kind of halfway. Isn't that just insane? That's so insane. There are a few things that are pretty concerning at the moment though. In the next leg of the trip, like if you go as far down as Peru, you might have heard that there's quite a bit of political unrest, lots of protests going on. You can't really get to Argentina unless you drive through Peru. You can't drive through the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. Right now, travel is just not possible in Peru. If it doesn't get better, that's obviously going to be an issue. Sometimes I'm kind of baffled by how much of a logistical challenge it just is to drive like across the Americas from Alaska to Argentina. There's so much to take into account along the way. Now that I realize that we're already halfway, that feels just really good. It is happening and that's super cool. I'm gonna do some more editing on our next video. See you guys in the morning because we have some fun plans.
Good morning. Just a bit past 7 a.m. Plan was actually to go catch some crabs this morning here in the bay. Because it was perfect time around 7:30 with the tide, but it was just super rainy, so.
But we have a new plan and it involves some very cool wildlife.
I love these beautiful little houses here, super colorful, nicely decorated. And even though it's a little bit rainy today, might have some sun later, but if not, we're just gonna enjoy it. Alright, we made it to the first and most important stop of today, so wow, this is beautiful. What a great start to the day. Kim, I've got an important task for you. Can you go grab some coffee around the corner and I'll go grab something else?
Being very mysterious. I need a credit card. I don't have money on me. Unless I can pay in lens caps.
I'm gonna surprise Kim with some local specialties.
3-pack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise we're eating too much. Gotta finish them all.
So $12.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Cappuccino, latte.
It's a baby latte. Baby cappuccino.
That's a cappuccino, baby cappuccino, yeah. So what did you get?
Alright, so there's something this town is pretty famous for.
I love surprises! Brown butter sea salt cookies. Oh, these look good.
You need to try them. I had a little taster in the shop.
Oh, that's good. It's like a sandy little cookie. Very salty. No better way to start off a Thursday. Latte, surprise cookie, and the beach. Surprise wave. Who knew? I mean, it's literally uphill. How?
Whenever on these long drives, we like to talk about like stuff and hypothetical situations. And Kim just asked me, like, if we would have $1 million, what would you be doing? And 5-6 years ago, we were working, my answer would have been, quit my job and do something else because I don't like
No doubt.
where my life is going. And now we just said, well, I don't know. I don't think I would change anything. I mean, I would do less like freelance work. That takes a bit of our time away from travel and making videos. But other than that, like I wouldn't change anything. And that's like a really powerful realization.
Right now there is so much to be grateful for. At this very moment, Vinny is driving fine. There are no weird error codes. We are not broken down. We've been getting quite a few messages on DMs, mainly on Instagram, because I posted a few Instagram stories when we were broken down with Vinny about how new problems just kept popping up, and we were feeling rather disappointed and frustrated and just weren't feeling good at all or confident that we would even be able to continue this journey. We were super stressed. Let's say 80% of messages were super supportive, but there were also quite a few people, even amongst the supportive ones, who were like, well, are you sure that you want to continue this journey down to Argentina? Because now you're in the US, where if you get stuck somewhere, it's always somewhere relatively safe. It's actually the question we get asked most often by friends, by family. What about safety? Are you seriously going to drive your van into Latin America and feel good about that? And we've been to many places in Latin America. We've been to Mexico, we've been to Guatemala, El Salvador, we've been to Peru, Colombia, and we have always felt safe. We know there are, of course, risks involved. I personally do feel a little bit concerned, mainly about the van. That's the biggest difference compared to when we were backpacking. We now have this big shiny white van will stand out, and that generally standing out is not a good thing. We know that something might happen, but we also know that the odds are like in our favor.
And we try to stay away from dangerous situations, from anything illegal. We just try to keep our wits about us and use our common sense to stay safe. And so far in the 4 years that we've been traveling, we've managed it, so I think we will be fine.
We're not gonna let a relatively limited risk stop us from doing something that we want to do so badly, like this big ass road trip that you'll remember forever.
We can't let fear stop us from living our life.
Living the dream, baby.
Living the dream. I didn't know they were so close.
So you probably know a seal. Seals are relatively small. Bigger than a seal is a sea lion.
Approximately human size.
Those are the ones we swam with last year in Cabo in Mexico when we went diving. And then there are elephant seals, which are just massive, several human size. And those are the ones that are here on the beach.
I read somewhere that the males can get up to 20 feet and weigh up to 8,800 pounds. That's approximately the size of a van.
And the males have like these very long, almost trunk-like noses.
Super lucky to be here this time of year, because this is a time of year that they have small little puppies. Well, they're not that small, but they are cute. A lot cuter than the big ones though. Wow.
I love wildlife. I just so love it. Being so close to it, especially here. I don't think there's any other place in the world where you can be this close to these massive seals. The only concern is not dropping the camera, because I mean, I'm not gonna.
Oh my god, guys, we're going to be witnessing a rare spectacle. This one's actually giving birth right now to a little puppy.
You can see like the back flippers of the pup already sticking out from like her behind. That's crazy. She's in labor. She's having a baby elephant seal pup.
Come on, you can do it, girl.
You're a strong elephant seal woman.
Strong, independent elephant seal.
She's cuddling her newborn baby.
And the sand is
Wow. Would you like to be my friend? Give a donation. I would love to be this little guy's friend. Where? How do? Okay, here. It was pretty straightforward. Okay, so here's the deal. In a few days from now, our US visa is going to run out. So we're slowly making, well, we're actually quite rapidly now making our way down the coast of California because we need to get to the US-Mexico border crossing as soon as possible. We're a little bit stressed about it because there is so much we still have to do before we can actually go to Mexico. We have to check like the paperwork we need to do for the van. We have to look for car insurance because the one we have now doesn't cover us from Mexico. Driving from Alaska to Argentina is at times an administrative nightmare, but it's all worth it. So we want to make the most of this afternoon before the border crossing madness really erupts. And we figured we would go do something that Naik has been looking forward to for a really long time now. So we drove about 1 hour further down the coast and now we are at Pismo Beach, which has this beautiful pier, and we're gonna try to catch some dinner for later.
It's been a while since I fished. We didn't do much fishing in Utah or Arizona.
There's not a lot of water there.
I mean, there's probably some lakes you can find, but I just like fishing in the ocean. You never know what you can get. It's always super exciting. Since it's winter time, there's not that much different species here, but the prevalent species apparently is surf perch, which can be caught using sandworms or bloodworms. I like to use the fake plastic ones because, I mean, who likes handling worms? I mean, if I was a fish, I'd eat it. Alright, 5 minutes in, got our first fish.
Oh my god, what is that? Is
It's
that
a perch. I don't know which one exactly, but it's like, yeah, if you have Bart's perch, red perch. Just 3 minutes later I have another bite. Yeah, this one looks a little bit too small to eat. I mean, you can eat them if you want, but we're gonna try for something bigger. There we go. Off you go.
I was just getting some B-roll shots, but now it turns out there's actually fish here and they're biting. I want to catch one too. 2, 3. Kapow!
Alright, another bite. Just got one 1 minute ago. Dinner is looking pretty good.
Today Naik is a fish whisperer. Another fish. This is the biggest
6.
one yet, I think.
Yeah, this is the biggest one.
Come and get it, fishies, while it's hot.
Woo! Kim's getting some strikes.
It's nibbling! Something's nibbling!
You can reel in a little bit. See if it's hooked. Start reeling a bit.
I think I have it.
Yeah, you're on! Kim's get a fish. Oh, it's a nice one. It's also a perch.
Dinner? Is that you? I believe it is. Oh, I just got it hooked in the lip. Like, look at this. The hook is barely in its lip, but it's in there. I always hate this part. Oh, no!
Quickly grab it.
Yeah.
We ended up keeping 8 of them. Now just cleaning them out here on the fillet table. Because it's much easier than having fish guts all over the van. Just found ourselves a nice pullout
You are invisible, though.
with some of the beautiful sunset colors. Look at this.
So you might be thinking, why did we park on a pullout of the highway? Well, we're very hungry. We didn't have any food today except for those cookies this morning. So I'm gonna work a little bit, Naik's gonna cook, and then we're gonna look for a different spot.
We're gonna be cooking our fishies today. Since we have 7 or 8, I'm gonna cook them in 2 different ways. But first, I'm gonna start with the potatoes. Gonna fry them up nice and crispy. While the potatoes are going pretty well, I'm gonna start frying up these asparagus. I think they will go super well with the fish.
While Naik is doing that, I am editing our next video. And in case you're wondering why I'm wearing my jacket, well, our heater is still broken, so we need to put that jerry can of fuel that we have in our shower underneath in order to be able to run the heater, and we're just here for a little bit. We're not gonna do that. It's just more practical to wear my coat. But Naik, in the meantime, Like you're basically wearing just a t-shirt.
When it comes to this, we could not be any more different.
I guess I'm just naturally hot. Alright, here we have the fishies. I've decided I'm gonna prepare them in 2 different ways. First one is gonna be breaded and fried with a little bit of Cajun style spices in it. I'm gonna start dipping them in this egg mixture and into the breadcrumbs. Nice and coated. And then we're gonna put them in the hot oil, fry them up.
So think about a week or so ago, we got a comment from people saying that they love Nate's cooking, especially because of the fact, and I never considered that inside our little mini kitchen, he basically cooks up these fantastic meals out of like nothing, with just the most basic stuff in our car, basically. And it just looks amazing, tastes amazing.
While the fishies are frying, I'm gonna make some aioli to go with them. I think that's a perfect combo. By the way, I know I said I was gonna do 2 different preparations of the fish, but I was overruled by one of the higher ups here that I should make all the fish like this because it looks so good.
It is amazing.
I put in some salt, a little bit of paprika powder, made my own mayonnaise, adding these spices, and then adding in the garlic. Bob's your uncle.
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Alright, here you go.
Wow, this is super fancy. You've outdone yourself. Oh, the batter is good. It's really good. The fish is like subtle in flavor, but it's a white fish, so it's supposed to be like that.
Try it, a little bit of garlic sauce. Mmm.
Outdid yourself.
Good morning, guys. We've got a lot to do today because tomorrow we're crossing the border into Mexico, but we've got a lot of stuff to do. We need to clean Vinny, we need to buy a bunch of stuff that might not be so easily available in Mexico. So from Walmart we got a whole bunch of cleaning supplies, some spices and all that good stuff. And the most important thing, these things that go into our toilet. These are amazing and we're not sure if you can easily get them otherwise. Vinny starts to smell a bit. I just love how the US has ATMs break-in drive-thru. Don't have to get out of your car, don't have to do anything, but just get some cash. Time for a little drive towards LA because we need to be in LA for a bunch of stuff. Drive there, it's supposed to be 1 hour.
I just realized that I thought I had until tomorrow, 3 p.m. to file some of our tax returns in Belgium. Apparently, I was mistaken. It is today, 3 p.m. It's now 10:30 and I hadn't even begun yet. It normally takes me over a day. And now I have like 4 hours and there's a whole bunch of other stuff we have to do. So I'm trying to do it in the car, but I'm stressing out, like,
Alright, I gotta look extra pretty for the border guards, otherwise they might not let me in. I mean, look a bit scruffy, beard is long, hair is not great, so here's to some little magic. Suddenly we realized we had so much stuff to do that I forgot to show you the end result with the snapping. But I got a haircut, I shaved my beard,
yeah.
changed my outfit, so I think the border crossing will be like, oh, you can pass through, sir.
A few hours of sheer panic and loads of work later, we have filed our tax returns, like 20 minutes before the deadline. LA traffic. You gotta love it.
Have you really been to LA if you haven't been stuck in a traffic jam? I don't think so. We made it back to the coast. Sun is slowly setting. We still have a bunch of things to do, like clean up the mess that we made here.
I don't see it.
Our mess is gone.
But I think we get to decompress a little bit first.
Yeah.
Because so far it's been a heck of a stressful
this
day.
morning at 7 a.m. It's now 5 p.m. and I haven't sat down for 1 minute and done nothing. Wow, what a beautiful view across the beach. Since it's a little bit dangerous here in LA, we brought some safety gear. 2 beers to enjoy and celebrate our last night
the border crossing into Mexico is like this invisible line where things, well, it's not invisible. I know there's an actual border post, and it's sort of where things start getting a lot more exotic.
Cheers to the US.
Cheers.
You have been awesome.
Ever since previous video where we went to the snow and we loved it so much, and we got this idea of what would happen if you wouldn't just go from Alaska to Argentina, but from Alaska to Antarctica. On the way here, I was looking up prices for Antarctica cruises because I assumed it was expensive. I never actually properly looked into it, but I thought it was like up to $5,000 per person. No, it starts at $5,000, and that's very bare bones. For like a 10-day cruise. I mean, it would be the ultimate cherry on top, and you never know. You never know if I can win another few high-stakes tournaments, but could also just be the alcohol talking. We'll see.
We'll see how far south we'll make it. Tomorrow, my main concern is getting this boy across the border.
We'll leave you here, friends.
Arriba, arriba.
Bye-bye.